Hello and welcome to the BoozleBox. Today we will be doing a one-off episode on this lovely castle I have built. It's taken quite some time because I have done it. I've used creative mode, but I've done it block by block. So it's the Boozle Castle. Right, now let's walk up the main stairs and across the moat, and we have this nice door here, which is set to frequency gate, and on clicking the remote the door drops down, as you can see. Now also in this castle, I like the doors. There are 4 doors and they each run a different system of how they open. This one here is actually a drawbridge, like so, which is kind of cool if you want to keep your enemies out, because you can't jump across the gap. So let's go back inside the castle, and we'll start with this simple door system here. Okay, now it's just a frame in this case, with the cover slips on it, as you can see. And if we look inside, we have these 2 motors set up like this. This bottom one below the top, so it pushes it up to there. Now we have a blue and a red wire going in with some bundle cable going into the logic room, and here the power cable leads into the top of the 1 frame motor. Now I didn't actually realise this, but if you power one, because it's connected to the other one, the power goes through both of them. So both frame motors will be powered, so you only need to take power to one, which is really useful. Now this whole system is powered by these battery boxes, and these are in turn powered by a red power solar array that's up here on the ceiling, or not on the ceiling, and they wouldn't get any light on the roof. Which powers all the doors. Right, so that's that system. It's relatively simple. What's nice about this, and the way I've done the logic, is if you click to open the door and then click again, it will stop and it will shut. So you don't have to wait until it gets to the end for it to go back down again. Now if we go have a look at the logic for this, and then we'll take a look at the other door designs. Right, now this logic may look quite daunting. It is a little bit, so I'll run you through it. And if you're going to rebuild this, then I'll show you which aspect is which and what does what. Right, so this is the main receiver, which goes to an AND switch. Now this AND switch is to do with this purple, no, it's definitely a pink cable. This pink cable here. Now the pink cable is to do with a switch, which I'll show you in a minute. So don't worry yourselves too much about that. Now, so if we just follow this, this goes to a toggle switch. It goes through a null cell, and I'll show you why in a minute. Now the basic setup is this toggle switch to a wire. Now this is a thing called I'll just find out and make sure I get the proper name. It is the, I'm not going to be able to find it now. It's not the multiplexer, it's state cell. One of these things. Now basically what this means is if it receives an on signal, it's on. But if it stops receiving an on signal, it'll be off for a certain amount of time, and then it'll send a pulse through this side. So when this is flipped, when you send a pulse to the receiver, it flips over and then it sends the pulse. It does it quite quickly, that's why I didn't see it go around. It's like 0.2 of a second. And the way this works is it means that the other side then turns on if that one is then suddenly turned off, so it won't go all the way down and come back up. Anyway, right, so this side comes out and goes to an AND switch, This goes along and comes to another toggle switch with the usual timer set up, with timer here, timer here. This one is a longer timer, this one's the little timer. This goes to a NOT gate, which has had its sides trimmed off with a screwdriver, shift clicking, and the AND gate, which has had this one turned off so it doesn't connect with this wire, and that just sends the pulse if this isn't, if this isn't on. And it's the same setup this side, it's just at a different angle because you can't spin this round and use the different outputs. So again, it's the same and it comes out with that wire. So I'll just leave that on the screen for a bit. There we go. You can always pause and rewind to have a look at that again. Now, this piece here is to do with the weird thing on the wall of the castle out here. This is a light sensor. I'll get a new one. A light sensor. There it is. Now, basically, when it receives light, it emits a signal. But if you don't shift click it with a screwdriver, it perceives everything as being light for some reason, even the darkness. So you have to change its view. So you shift click and you can see these little slits that come up, and that basically means that it'll take in less light. So if I were to make it like noon now, this would turn off, and that's how it senses light. So at current, it's sending a signal down a grey cable to the logic, and this signal comes along here, goes through the null cell, hits a NOT gate, and doesn't do anything to this timer because it's gone through the NOT gate, it's not sending a signal. Now this AND timer starts when this toggle latch is in the opposite position. So now you can see this timer is coming round, and we'll flick the AND. But because this isn't on, or the sensor isn't off, because it's a NOT gate and changes it, a little confusing, nothing happens here. Now what would normally happen is, and on cue, night is actually falling. As night falls, as you can see, the sensor will stop detecting light. Now this might take some time, so I'm just going to quickly hit that, and there you go. And then you might have seen some lights come on. I'll show you how I've done that. Well, actually, I'll just explain. It's literally wires connected to the redstone lamps and the light sensor. Now, as you can see, everything has started working again. Yep, that was just lag. Now, this has actually, for some reason, lagged, and I will fix that with you in a second. Right, so I believe that's everything on here. So we covered this bit. This part here is to do with the doors, which we'll go look at. Where's that hole? There it is. Come here, hole. We'll go look at now. These are basic doors. Basic iron doors. Underneath they have, or at the sides even, they have this loop of wire which goes over the top and then also connects up the other side, and that just when this is clicked, that turns on and that causes the doors to open and the drawbridge to extend. Oh dear, that's inconvenient. As you can see now, the drawbridge extends due to these two frame motors on their sides here, and for some reason again this frame has, I think I've just been trapped inside a frame motor. Because it's nighttime, obviously the sensor is shutting everything. Okay, so that's how that works. I'll fix that later, but you've seen it come out already. You get the red cable and the blue cable again, just into a bundle cable, and it goes to the logic, and it runs on the same logic system that's running all the other doors, and again it's powered. So it's fairly simple and quite easy to implement if you have this logic set up. Now we'll go look at the logic for the doors over here. I have to find, there it is. Right, so these doors are just normal side-to-side opening doors like you'd find in most places, like so. Very simple. It does use more frame motors though, so it's more costly. But like in the factory doors that we did in an earlier episode, it's just the 2 frame motors set up like that, both facing opposite directions. Again, the red and the blue wire connected to the same logic system and powered up. So fairly self-explanatory and nice and simple. So this is just some of the ways, and also this door over here, which I'm about to fix. This is just some of the ways you can have doors and stuff to a castle or anything like that that you might desire to make. I do have one other cool little thing to show you. I'll just quickly add these back in. I don't know why they've... I think it's because my computer might have lagged and decided it was going to destroy the covers. And obviously that's a bad thing, because if the covers are destroyed, it starts sticking to things and all hell breaks loose. So there we go. Now when I hit this, the doors should go up. There we go. Brilliant. And obviously there was stuff there. But there isn't now, because I destroyed it, because I like doing that. There we go. Oh, and it's just shut in my face. Thank you, door. And that's the light sensor doing that. Okay, there we go. So they're all working again. This one, yeah, is definitely open. There's a piggy outside. Right, I can't get distracted. Now, obviously the sun's going to go up, and all these lights are going to go off. As I said, in my nice towers, it's just a cable connected to the light sensor, and it does have a NOT gate on it as well, so that when the sensor is not on, or where the sensor is on when it's receiving light, because it's on when it's received light, it's not sending a signal to the lamps. And the last... oh, the rain. Pet hate rain. The last thing I'm going to show you is this switch here. Now if I click this switch, nothing much has happened, but if I then go to use the remote to open the doors, nothing happens. That is a lock. That locks out the logic system so that none of the doors will open. So if someone else has a remote and you're sitting on top of your tower, you can just stare and laugh at them because they can't get in. Or, oop, falling down another hole. Or if you decided to go with the drawbridge, you could just sit and laugh at them because they're trying to jump in and they can't get up, which is even funnier. Right, so obviously just to prove that that works, I'll unlock it, and there we go. Up it goes. There it goes, and the drawbridge comes out. Brilliant. Okay, and that is basically it. It's just a little a video episode-y thing I wanted to show you. Well, it wasn't really an episode, it's a little one-off of these different types of doors and stuff. It's kind of security, I suppose, that you can do in Tekkit. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. I think next time we'll be looking at a power station facility using Buildcraft engines, but mixing in a little red power logic, so that those pesky combustion engines don't blow up all of your work, which is quite a common occurrence if you don't run back to them and hug them a bit and give them some love. Yeah, they just blow up in your face. A bit like creepers. Anyway, yeah, I will see you next time. I hope you enjoyed this. Bye.